And what's interesting is that during the Constitutional Convention, they actually considered giving the judicial branch a veto over legislation, and they shot it down. And actually, I think it was Madison that also wanted that too, but they shot it down because it's like, no, like that'd be ridiculous. For obvious reasons, it's a court, and you want the court to be objective.
Sure.
And really, if we really get into it, I think the best way to sum up the court is the Constitution's greatest flaw. It was the branch that they discussed the least. It clearly, there was no thinking behind it. Like, even when you read the Federalist Papers on this, I think it's 78 through 83, Hamilton talks about, he's like, listen, of course, every unconstitutional law is void of any power. Like, it is not enforceable. It's holy crap. At the same time, courts aren't given that power to do that, even though you want them to do that. Like, I would say an unconstitutional act should be thrown out as unconstitutional, not enforced. But who has that power? If you give it to courts, now all of a sudden you're giving courts that power to interpret the Constitution. Like, there's no getting around this. And so it's one of those things that they overlooked, and I think they're greatest overlooking. And I know you said earlier in the beginning of this that, you're a Lysander Spooner guy, and believe me, it's funny. A couple of years ago, man, I would have defended the Constitution like crazy and this and that, but because I read the Anti-Federalist Papers, and I pretty much identify as an anti-federalist at this point, where like I see the value of the Constitution, I get all the Federalist arguments, I see its value and liberty and everything, but I'm not blind to like look what's around us. Like, you can't deny that something has gone wrong, and whether it's the people, whether it's the Constitution itself. I mean, I think it happens to be a little bit of both, mostly people, but I mean, there's no denying that that it's not working. I mean, it's the idea that the Constitution was going to work is just as utopic as communism or anarchism. It's just, these things are not going to work because people don't work like this. We don't create things that are perfect, that are just going to work because we want them to.